One of the best habits that you can form in your early 20s is reading. Reading books is going to give you free information that you can apply to your life. You're going to absorb information and knowledge that can challenge your current belief systems, and it's going to expose you to what's possible in life. Now, I'm not talking about fictional books. Those are cool to read from time to time too, where you're using your imagination, you're reading about stories. I like historical fiction, but I'm talking about books written by successful men and women that you can learn from, and you can apply exactly what they teach or share in their book in your life to get results. Now, I'm going to share with you guys, you young people watching this, 3 impactful books that have the ability to change your life. So if you're in your early 20s, you should be aiming to read 10 to 20 pages in a book that's going to add value to your life every single day. If you do this over the course of a year, you're going to read 10, 20 books, and you're going to absorb so much information, so much knowledge. You're going to be exposed to such a higher level of life and really see what's possible, what other people have done. And I promise you, as long as you implement the knowledge, the skills, the takeaways that you're absorbing in these books, if you apply them in your life, it will change the trajectory of your life forever. So the first book that I want to share with you guys that you should all read is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Now, everybody has heard of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and that's a great book. I read that book when I was about 25. It was perfect time, and it changed my life forever. But Outwitting the Devil breaks down a more sinister experience that we all have as human beings, right? We all have this vision, this feeling inside of us of who we want to be, right? That's like the person that God has created us to become. And we have a little bit of clarity as to what we have to do and the changes we need to make to become that person. It's our conscience is calling us to travel this path, right? But most people settle for the other path. They choose the path of least resistance because they listen to their inner fears, their doubts, and they conform to society at large. They become average. They become mediocre at best. So Napoleon Hill breaks down the internal battle, the spiritual battle that we all face when we strive to achieve a life of greatness, and we're met by these internal challenges, this discomfort, this fear, this doubt that kills most people's dreams. You got to read that book. It's going to help you to generate so much awareness as to what's going on in your own mind and inside yourself as you're making these changes and striving to create a better life for yourself. Now, the second book is by Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's a great author. He makes it very simple for you to understand these concepts that he's teaching, focused on wealth management, finance, creating financial freedom, and opportunity in your life. So if you're a young person, you got to read his first book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But the second book that he wrote, Cash Flow Quadrants. This book is awesome because it helps you to understand the difference between being a W-2 employee and then a business owner or an investor. And he really breaks down in very simple terms how you can become a business owner at an early age or invest in companies and partner with people and become an investor in order to acquire assets, but also to create leverage with your financial ability, right? Leverage with capital, leverage in ways that is going to allow you to really create financial freedom where you're not restrained, you're not restricted in what you can do, you're not answering to some boss you hate, like you're not working a job that just gives you this meager amount of wages every year just to get by. Like, he really is going to help you to shift your mindset around what it takes to become financially free and to create wealth for you and your family long term. So you got to read that book. Honestly, the things that he shares are very impactful and the knowledge that he shares is helpful, but it's the mindset behind becoming wealthy, becoming successful, that is going to give you the most value. And really, it'll probably help you to shift your mindset instantaneously when you read that book. Okay, now the last book is my personal memoir, Prison of Your Own. This book describes what it was like growing up, coming from a home where my parents were battling addiction, coming from a broken home where I lost both my parents at an early age, going through adolescence, just drifting, having no purpose, no direction, then ultimately what it was like to face life in prison at 23 years old, and how I overcame that experience and used it as leverage to get me to this point in my life as a 7-figure coach, husband, father, motivational speaker, and doing everything that I'm doing today. So those 3 books will have a massive impact on how you view the world, how you think about yourself, and really how you're operating day to day. Okay. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill is going to talk about the spiritual battle that you're facing, striving to become great, and all the obstacles that you're going to face and why they're put in your path. Cash Flow Quadrants by Robert Kiyosaki is going to help you shift your mindset in a way that's going to allow you to create more wealth and generate more finances, more money, more revenue in your business or in the future in businesses that you get into. And number 3, Prison of Your Own, my personal memoir. If you're somebody that's battled addiction, if you're somebody that's gone through depression, anxiety, hardships in your life, my book is going to describe in great detail and help you to understand how to shift your perspective in order to look at those things as parts of your life that you can actually use to your advantage. How you can shift your perspective to use all your hardships, all your struggles in a way that's going to drive you forward, motivate you, and inspire you to become a better person, and how it's going to help you to grow into a version of yourself you never would have become otherwise. So I'm going to drop the link for all 3 of those books down below. I'm also going to give a free book list. These are the best books you could possibly read. Read them in the exact order in the book list and devour them. Devour them, take notes, highlight sections, read them more than once. These are the best books written by the most influential people of past generations. Focus on business, finance, mindset, habits, spirituality. These are my favorites. I think there's 14 on the book list that I have. They're my all-time favorites. So I want you to devour them. Order them one by one. Read 10 to 20 pages a day, even more if you can. I'm telling you, if you start to read now and you're one of these younger, ambitious individuals, you're looking at social media, you're seeing all these successful people, that's good. Success leaves clues. But when you read and you entertain these thoughts internally, and you're analyzing and dissecting these little sections, and you're thinking about your life, you start to have all these creative ideas, all this energy, right? This vision, this clarity. It's going to come alive inside of you, and that's what's going to be life-changing for you. You still have to take action, put in the work, but when you can shift your perspective and attain this knowledge, it's going to help you to expedite that journey. So go ahead, drop any comments below. Tell me what your favorite book of all time is. If I haven't read it yet, I'll get my hands on it and I'll make sure to leave a review.